Welcome back. And not only do we have another powerful woman, but we have an author, a published author. How are you, Pauline?
I'm great. Thank you, Christina.
Pauline Robertson.
Yes.
Okay, so your story, this book, is so fantastic. I have worn both pairs of shoes. And so I was curious by the title, and I wanted to read it so we could talk about it, and I did it, and it's a very easy read. And as I'm reading it, I feel like I'm a voyeur into your life. And so, you know, it's very tastefully done, so there's not like stuff that you don't want to really read about somebody, but it was really well done. And so what provoked you to write a book?
Well, 10 years ago when I went through my divorce, a lot of my family and friends started telling me I should really write my story about how I handled my marriage and the divorce, and how I flipped it to something being positive. Instead of choosing to be bitter, I kind of took that energy and focused it the opposite way, and kind of moved to California, which was my dream. And I started writing then, but I just wasn't at that point in my life where it was ready to be written.
You had to have the experiences that you wrote about. Well, not only did you turn this around not being bitter, but you did a whole new change around. You moved to California, then you start getting involved in a pageantry business that takes you to Europe. You went to see orphanages. You hung out at the discos in Mykonos. It was really, it sounds great. That's wonderful. And that took a lot of guts all by yourself to pick up and go. So I'm really proud of you that you did that. And it is a good story. And it's encouraging to other women and men that they can turn something that's tragic around. So that's great. So why don't you tell a little bit about like the little chapters that you went through that were enlightening to you. You start off in California and you're glazed with the beauty there.
Well, exactly. It's definitely was my dream to live there. So, you know, 20 years later, I went there when I was 18, and 20 years later is when the opportunity kind of opened for me to go. And yes, you know, I was in my later 30s, and I had never lived on my own, so it was very scary because I didn't know anyone. But it was very eye-opening to me with life, having to make my own choices, and you know, only having family on the phone, not really having anyone to fall back on, and really opening myself up to make new friends and network. And
you sort of listen to your inner voice, and as you say in there, you carry your inner voice a lot through here, your gut feeling. Starting with your marriage, that you had this gut feeling, you shouldn't have done it, but I guess you wouldn't have written the book if you didn't do it. So for whatever reason, that was a lesson you had to learn.
Absolutely.
And so you go to California, and it's great. You're not just a freeloader. You start working right away. You buy a condo. You even dyed your hair brown, so that you wouldn't be a California blonde and be a little different. You get invited to the Playboy Mansion. Now that must have been fun. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, I did have, you know, definitely a few opportunities to go to the Playboy Mansion, but it was actually for a fundraiser, for a benefit for Nicole Brown's family, Nicole Brown Simpson's family, who put it on. So it obviously, they were raising money for a shelter in the desert for abused women, and her family was very lovely, wonderful people. I met some great people, but what a great venue to have the opportunity to be at the Playboy Mansion with, you know, half in the girls.
Is he as the way he really appears on TV?
Yes.
Does he always wear his bathrobe and those slippers? Really?
Yes.
Does he always have a lot of girlfriends around him?
There's definitely a lot of girls. I mean, that was like, the show came obviously on after I left California, but it is going back in time. When you go there, it really is, because it's very 1970s, very retro.
Did he ask you to be part of his entourage?
No, you don't really get that close to him.
Oh.
I met the girls and the ladies there, but he's pretty well guarded.
He should be.
Yeah.
But anyway, okay, I didn't mean to get shallow there, but it's all of us are wondering what it's really like, so I wanted to bring it up. Oh, and then you worked with a pageantry, and that was a Miss World event, right?
Mrs. actually.
Mrs. World.
Yep, a Mrs. World event. And
you've won that title as well.
Yes, I have, years ago.
That's great.
When I was married.
That's great.
So yeah, it's a great pageant system. because it's a nonprofit. It's for abused women and children that they raise money. So I happened to have the opportunity to go to Bulgaria to an orphanage, and the reason why it was in Bulgaria is their world title holder was in Bulgaria.
Wow, yes.
So a group of us flew there to bring Christmas presents and clothes and everything to the orphanage.
That's great. What was the orphanage like there? Was it, did it really?
Well, believe it or not, it was very clean. Very clean. The people that worked there were very nice. The children were very happy. We brought them all winter coats at that time, and the people that worked there were in tears because they only had 2 winter coats to bring 2 children out at a time.
Oh, wow.
It is great. An interesting country because you're either poor or wealthy there. Yeah. And it is kind of unfortunate that most of the children end up there because the moms can't afford to feed them, so they actually just drop them off at the orphanages.
But they were well. That was a nice thing you did. You took what you're doing, and now you're even writing about it in Abused Women. Now, you said that you don't want anybody. I won't tell anybody what it means to. I have worn both pairs of shoes, but it's sort of figuratively speaking. You have to read the book to learn about it because I'm not going to tell you. You're just going to have to do it. But it's a great book, and the great thing about it is you came back to the Boston area, so we're glad to have you back. You're right around here, another celebrity in our midst, and you're going to have a book signing on Friday the 19th?
Yes, correct.
And,
yes,
and where's this?
It'll be at Nicholas Michael's Salon and Day Spa.
In Northborough.
In Northborough, yes.
That's great. Wonderful. And I'm sure we're going to see you on the Today Show and all that, so do keep it going, and remember, you talked about it on City Vibes Metro.
Great.
Pauline, thank you so much, and thanks for sharing your story.
Thank you.
Great. And we'll be right back.